Goku! Are you finished?
The 2024 trade deadline was good, y'all. And as y'all know, today was the trade deadline. It wasn't really a big name trade deadline. Like, we wasn't seeing stars being moved. But we were seeing some nice role players being moved that could potentially move the needle for some teams to maybe push them to the next step of contention. Maybe. We will see. So today, I'm just going to go over some of the trades that happened, some of the bigger trades that happened, and then we're going to do it all in 2K. We're going to sim from today, actually, like February 8th in real life, to the rest of the season, just to see what happens, see if any big things change throughout the season based on these trades. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, and also, by the way, these aren't in order of how the trades happen. I'm just breezing through how I see fit. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Mavericks. So the Mavericks, I think, were like the second biggest winners of today's trade deadline. They made two really good trades. The first being they got PJ Washington for Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a 2027 first-round pick. Me personally, I think this is an amazing trade. Seth Curry doesn't really get rotational minutes for the Mavs. Grant Williams, although he started out extremely hot for them, has simmered down a lot and has been very underwhelming since like the first month. So he hasn't been providing much value that's worth keeping him on the team. So I think trading for a guy like PJ Washington that does a lot of similar things to Grant Williams, maybe not as good as a shooter, but more younger, first of all, more athletic, more agile, can run some pick and rolls with Luka in a way that Grant can't. Grant was more of a sit in a corner, sit at the wing shooter. PJ Washington is a player you can run in some actions with Luka or Kyrie, or even Tim Hardaway Jr. or Josh Green. So I think this was an amazing upgrade for them. And then the other upgrade was they got Daniel Gafford for Richaun Holmes and I think cash. Like, I don't think there was any picks involved. I think this was an amazing trade. You trade a guy that gets no minutes, even though I think Richaun Holmes does have some value as a backup center in this league. But you trade him for a guy that's a very, no, that's Derek Lively. Another younger guy, 25 years old, who's under contract for 3 years, athletic big, a little bit on the shorter side in 6'10", but shooting 70% from the field, can get you boards, can get stops at the paint. I think he's averaging over 2 blocks this season. And a steal. He's agile on the defensive end. So like Lively, you have a guy who is not a liability when he gets switched onto the perimeter. I'm not saying he's an elite defender, but he is someone that can hold his own in the paint and on the perimeter. And it's another lob threat for Luka. And I think with this type of team, you get younger, you get more athletic. And I just think this is the type, like, this is a team that I'm not going to call them contenders, but they're like dark horses. They have a puncher's chance. That, like, this is a team that no team in the West wants to see. Like, a team like the Clippers, Nuggets, Thunder, who are better than this team on paper, and are higher seed, are viewed as contenders compared to the Mavs. No one wants to see the Mavs. This is a team that we know what Luka does in the playoffs. We know what Kyrie can do. And they got more depth in this. This is a team you don't want to see in the playoffs because this team can fuck around and end up in the conference finals. Hell, if everything goes perfect, everyone healthy, maybe the finals. Do I think they'll make the finals? No. But you never know. The next team I want to talk about, who I think are the biggest winners of today's trade deadline, is the New York Knicks. So let me look for this trade. Hold on. So they traded Evan Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, Ryan Arcidiacono, and 2 second-round picks for Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic. This was an amazing trade by the Knicks. In my opinion, kind of a fleece, because I feel like if teams knew this was the type of package they could give for Burks or Bogdanovic or both even, other teams I think might have offered something that they could have pulled the trigger on. But either way, you get rid of players that you don't play. You get rid of Evan Fournier's terrible contract. The only player of value that I think you lost was Quentin Grimes. But you replace him with Alec Burks, who has been on this team before, so is familiar with the organization, the culture, and is a 40% three-point shooter right now. and Bojan Bogdanovic, who at the moment is a 20-point per game scorer, shooting 42% from three. You just gotta get a guy that's a straight bucket that, when healthy, I'm assuming he'll come off the bench. I don't think he'll start. I think the starting lineup will still be Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, or Josh Hart. Probably DiVincenzo, Anunoby, Randall, and Hartenstein, because Mitchell Robinson is out for the season. And then to have a guy like this and Alec Burks come off your bench with Josh Hart, with Precious Achiuwa, I think the Knicks have become a very deep team, similar to the Mavs. I don't have them winning at all. I don't see them as the best team in the East. But this is a team. This is a team that has become scary, that people do not want to see in a 7-game series. I'm not gonna lie. I think I would put them above the Sixers, assuming Embiid's healthy, even though we know he's probably gonna be out for the season. I have the Celtics above them, and I put them right on a similar tier to the Bucks, in my opinion. Because the Bucks, although you have Giannis and Dame, who most likely might be the two best players in that series, but you never even know. Honestly, Brunson is a player I can see outplaying Dame in a 7-game series. And all that being said, the Bucks have just been a terrible defensive team. So I am not taking the Bucks as seriously as I have in previous years, even though with the addition of Damian Lillard, who is a star player. Also, they have Doc Rivers coaching them. Enough said. So I think the Knicks have become arguably the second or third best team in the East. To me, they are officially contenders. I think they were contenders before this trade, but I think this solidifies them. This moves them in the tier with the Celtics and Bucks. I think they're right there with the Bucks, and I don't think they're right next to the Celtics, but I think they're all three of these teams are in the same tier right now. The Pistons, I just see them on a youth movement. They traded those two vets. They got rid of Monte Morris. They what else did they do? They waived Joe Harris. They also waived. So they waived. They got rid of almost all their vets, and they also waived Killian Hayes, which I'm very surprised at. Killian Hayes, who has not been good for them, I'm not gonna lie, but he is still only a third-year player. This is his third season in the league, or fourth season, and he's only 22 years old. So I think it's too early to give up on him in terms of him being in the league. I think another team will pick him up, but we'll see what happens there, and then that I think will be ultimately his last chance. So the 76ers made a move, and they got Buddy Hield for Furkan Korkmaz, Marcus Morris, and 3 second-round picks. Now, this is a good trade, honestly. It's just a shame that Embiid is injured, most likely out for the season, because I think this team, with the way Embiid was playing, with the way Maxi's been playing, this team has been playing so well. You add one of the better shooters in the league next to them. I think this team had the potential to also be up there with the Bucks, Celtics, Knicks. I don't think they were right there because I'm not the biggest believer in Embiid in the playoffs. But it's just a shame that Embiid is injured. One thing I am scared for, the Sixers as an organization are notoriously known for pushing their players to play before they're ready to play. And when it comes to coming back from injuries, I'm scared of them making a move like this. And I know Embiid, when it comes to playoff time, is going to want to play. Will he be ready to play is another thing. And with them making a move like this, I'm scared that it will kind of push Embiid to try to force himself to play before he really can. And we already know Embiid has been chronically injured for majority. He came into the league injured almost every year of his career. He's had a major injury, and the last 5 to 6 years where he's been a top player and the Sixers have been contenders or contender tier, there's always been some type of injury throughout the season or in the playoffs. So me personally, even if Embiid, best case scenario, can come back first, second round, I wouldn't do it. I would sit him for the season, make sure he's 1,000% healthy, because I do not believe he will be. You have to remember, this is a guy who's had multiple knee, ankle, leg injuries in his career. Right now, it's like a meniscus flap or something. I feel like, especially because he's had multiple meniscus injuries, I feel like this is something you want him to heal properly from. Because I ain't no doctor. I'm not going to pretend like I am. From what I have seen from people that do know more than me on that stuff, this is a type of injury where if you re-aggravate it, which is what he did in that Warriors game, he was injured, but there was a lot of noise on social media from fans and also from the media like ESPN and them talking about, oh, he's ducking, he's not trying to play, blah, blah. He forced himself to play when he wasn't really healthy, and in that game, bro couldn't barely move. He couldn't jump, nothing. And what happened was he re-aggravated that injury. So I think you saw what happened when he played before he really could. So I would just say sit him for the season, let him heal, have the rest of the season, have the off season for him to fully heal from this injury, get his conditioning back up, because he's also he's injured for at least 2 months. This is a 7'1" guy, 300 something pounds. It's gonna take some time to get his conditioning back to where it needs to be for NBA play, especially to just jump into playoff play is to me ludicrous. So it is a good move in hindsight. Buddy Beal is on an expiring. I don't know if it's a player or team option. So we'll see if he is coming back to the Sixers next season. If not, that's tough. But if he is, then I think it works out for them. And the Sixers have a lot of flexibility this offseason in terms of money. I think they're going into the offseason with only 3 players under contract. So they're going to have a lot of money. They're going to re-sign Maxey. Maxey's not money, but they're still going to have a lot of money left over to build around Embiid, Maxey. So we'll see what happens. Okay, the next team that I want to talk about that I think did good in the trade deadline was the Suns. So they got Royce O'Neal from the Nets and David Roddy from the Grizzlies. So it was a 3-team trade. They sent a future pick swap and Yuta Watanabe to the Grizzlies, and they sent 3 second-round picks. And it says salaries to be determined. I think it was Keita Bates-Diop and one other player. I don't fully remember. Oh, and Chimize Etu, whatever, however you say his name. They got sent to the Nets. So I think this is a good trade for Phoenix. They continue to add depth. For the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of talk about them trying to get Miles Bridges, which, look in hindsight, wasn't realistic. I don't think they had the assets for it. But then the last week before the trade deadline, the way Miles Bridges has been playing, no one apparently had the assets for it, and the Hornets decided to stand packed and not trade him. So I think with the limited assets they had, I think they did good. You basically keep all your rotation depth. All the players that you are playing, you basically keep them. And you add another depth piece you can argue is going to be one of your top defenders now. Good three-point shooter. He's having a down three-point shooting season, but that could be attributed to the fact that on the Nets, they're kind of in a rebuild type thing where he's not. I think his role is a 3-and-D guy, spot up and play defense, which I think he's had a bigger role in Brooklyn compared to what he's going to have here in Phoenix, where he's literally going to be a spot up guy. You're not going to need to do anything with the ball when you have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, even Yusuf Nurkic, who's been playing well this season. So I think this was a good move. They added another layer of depth. They didn't give up anything valuable, in my opinion. And you just add another rotation player when depth is the Suns' biggest issues, and you just solve that a little bit more. And I think this is another guy you can trust come playoff time. So this next trade is funny to me. The Bucks got Pat Bev for Cam Payne and a second-round pick. The reason this is funny is because the Bucks are one of the worst defensive teams in the league, so bringing Pat Bev does add a little bit of backcourt defensive presence, especially because their backcourt defense is lacking. But it's funny because it's known Dame and Pat Bev do not like each other, or they had beef, so this is going to be funny. We have seen We have seen Pat Bev squash his beef with someone like Westbrook, who he didn't get along with in the past when they had to play together, so most likely it will be the same thing here, and they'll squash their beef. But yeah, I just thought this trade was kind of funny. The last trade I'm going to talk about is Gordon Hayward to the Thunder for Trey Mann and Davis Bertans. I think this was an amazing trade for the Thunder. You get a veteran presence, a very consistent veteran presence when healthy, averaging about 14, 15 points on good shooting splits. In 2K, he's going to come off the bench in this sim. But personally, I think he should start. I think what they should do is run SGA, Lou Dort at the 2, slide Josh Giddey to the bench, slide Gordon Hayward in there with Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. I think it makes them more versatile offensively. I think Josh Giddey, a lot of stuff that he excels at, it's hard for him to do when he's playing alongside SGA and Jalen Williams, who command the ball more. So I think having him come off the bench and lead the second unit, I think he can play more to his strengths. And I think that he'll be able to contribute more. Because he has not personally been having a good season. He hasn't been shooting the three well, but he really never been a really good three-point shooter. And while he's a really good playmaker, it's hard for him to do that because, like I said, SGA, Jalen Williams, even Chet Holmgren to an extent command the ball more. So I think you move Giddey to the bench, put Gordon Hayward, who's just a straight bucket, a guy you can just give the ball to create his own shot, spot-up shooter. This is a very young team, so if you need to calm shit down in a clutch situation, this is a guy I think you can rely on. And yeah, those were all the big moves, I think. It's like I said, it was a calm trade deadline, less than we expected. There were names like DeJounte Murray potentially being moved around. Some players on the Bulls who they should have traded, but the Bulls are still going to stand packed and not make a trade. And then there were teams that people expected to make moves that should have made moves but didn't, like the Lakers, the Bulls, like I said before, the Warriors. So we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to sim the rest of the season because right now this is updated to today's standing. Well, not today because games are happening, so it's probably not updated to that. But as of February 7th, everything is updated. So yeah, we'll see if anything major happens based on these trades. Alright, so the season has come to an end. Jokic won MVP, not too surprising. I think with Embiid being out and not passing the threshold, the top candidates is probably Jokic, Giannis, and SGA. Victor, Rookie of the Year, not surprising. Westbrook, Sixth Man of the Year, I'm not surprised. I think he'll win in real life, either him or like Tim Hardaway Jr. or someone, but we'll see. Victor also won Depoy. This I do not think will happen. I think they're going to give Depoy to Rudy Gobert again or Bam, personally. I think AD would get it if the Lakers were winning more, but yeah, it's probably going to be Rudy or Bam. Jalen Johnson, most improved. I don't see it happening, but he has been one of the more improved players. Jokic, Clutch Player of the Year, sure. I got no opinion on that award. And the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla, Coach of the Year, going 59-23 after right now they are 39-12. So not too out of the realm of possibility. Let's see. So first team, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA, Trae Young. These first four, yes, I see them being first team. Trae Young, nah. This last spot's probably going to go to like, I don't know. It's probably going to go to Tatum. Tatum, first seed in the East. Yeah, it's probably going to go to Tatum. All right, then we got AD, LeBron, Booker, Curry, Sabonis. Okay. And then Victor, Dame, Tyrese, Tatum, and Edwards. So, honestly, I don't see Victor getting All-NBA in his rookie season. Spurs are just one of the worst teams, and other players are playing good while also winning, so get over it. Dame's not getting All-NBA. He's not been an All-NBA player. Tyrese Halliburton, I'm not gonna lie, might not make it just because of the games played threshold. He might pass. He might not play enough games. Anthony Edwards and Tatum, I definitely see. All defensive first, SGA, Luka, Giannis, Kawhi, Victor. Don't see Luka doing it. I don't know why. They always have Luka winning some defensive awards in 2K, but whatever. Caruso, Demish, Jackson, LeBron, AD. And then the rookie teams, Victor, Chet, Asar, Jaime Jaquez, Brandon Miller. Correct, 1,000%. Then Keontae George, Scoot Henderson, Derek Lively, Amen, Marcus Sasser. Okay, so I have the standings pulled up based on today compared to on 2K. So Celtics keep the first seed. That doesn't change. The Pacers go from the 6th seed, which is what they are today, all the way up to the 2 seed. That's very surprising. The Cavs go down to the 3 seed because as of right now they are the 2 seed by 2 games. Wow, they have a 2-game lead on the Bucks. That's actually kind of surprising. The Bucks go down to the 4 seed. Knicks drop down 1 to the 5 seed, and then let's see. Oh wait, did I say 6? 6 is the Sixers, so they drop down 1. So the top 6 stays exactly the same. It just the positions just jumble around a little bit. I'm very surprised the Pacers jump up how much they did. 7th and 8th, Miami, Orlando is the same. And then Atlanta Bulls, that stays the same, except Bulls are the 10th, and Atlanta's 9th. Okay, so not too many changes in the East. Let's see out West. Out West, the Clippers jump up to number 1. But to be fair, the top 4 are all like separated by 1 game, so it's not that surprising. So Clippers finished 1, OKC 2, Denver 3, New Orleans 4. That's a surprise. So New Orleans go up from the 6th seed, they go up to the 4th seed, which is surprising only because right now between them and the Timberwolves, it's like a 5.5, 6 game difference. So the Timberwolves had to lose a lot, and the Pelicans had to win a lot to make up that difference. But Timberwolves get that 5th seed, Suns down to the 6th seed. So same thing as the East, top 6 stay the same, just positions are switched around. And then 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So the Kings stay at 7th. The Lakers move up to 8th. The Warriors go from 11th all the way up to 9th, which is kind of surprising. And the Mavs go all the way down to 10th. Okay, that's a little surprising. I don't see that happening, but it's whatever. So let's just simulate the play-in. The Warriors get eliminated by the Mavs. Or, the Bulls get eliminated by the Hawks. The Mavericks get eliminated by someone. And the Hawks get eliminated. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Lakers beat the Kings. So Lakers automatically get the 7th seed. Mavs beat the Warriors. And then Kings beat the Mavs for the 8th seed. Okay. And then out here, Heat get the 7th seed and beat the Magic. Hawks beat the Bulls. And then Magic beat the Hawks. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go round by round. See what happens this playoffs. The Suns get eliminated by the Nuggets. They get swept. Pelicans lose to the Timberwolves. Lakers lose to the Thunder. I'm actually surprised. Usually 2K be on the Lakers Schmeat. Who do the Kings play? The Kings lose to the Clippers in 6. The Sixers lose to the Cavs. The Knicks lose. Who do they lose to? The Knicks lose to the Bucks. Miami loses to... My bad, I'm trying to figure out who's who. Miami loses to the Pacers. And the Magic lose to the Celtics. Every series in the East was a 7-game series? Nah, that's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so now we got Clippers, Timberwolves, Thunder, Nuggets, Pacers, Cavs, and Celtics, Bucks in the second round, of course. Alright, so we're going to go game by game for everything. Oh, well, whatever, I'll just send it around. Oh, Pacers, the Cavs sweep the Pacers. Timberwolves lose to the Clippers in 5. Celtics lose to the Bucks in 6. That's crazy. And the Thunder lose to the Nuggets in 7. So we got Clippers, Nuggets, and then Cavs, Bucks. All right. Bucks lose to the Cavs in 6. And the Clippers lose to the Nuggets in 6 as well. Jokic, Conference Finals MVP, Donovan Mitchell. Okay. And then if we sum the finals, the Nuggets repeat, go back-to-back with Jokic winning his 2nd Finals MVP. Wow. Okay, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. The Nuggets are still contenders, so... Hey, I mean, we'll see what happens. As we can see, I guess the trade deadline didn't have too much of an impact on stuff. I would think the Knicks would have went further. Sixers makes sense. I'm surprised they pushed the Cavs to 7 with no Embiid. And then over here... Like, a lot of these teams didn't really make big moves. Like, the Thunder got Hayward. The Timberwolves got Monte Morris. But a lot of teams that made it farther are the ones that didn't really do anything at the trade deadline. So, hey, I guess maybe they saying all these trades that happened today in, like, the last week or two, they ain't for shit. But we'll see what happens.